Going into this unit, I never put much thought into the question, is knowing more better? But I had the belief that ignorance is not positive, or in other words, that knowing more is definitely better. But to be honest, my reasoning behind this answer was, why not? I mean, why would you not want to know the truth about the world around you? This unit definitely took my thinking about this topic on a roller coaster ride as we looked at the different major resources. First of all, after watching The Truman Show and reading The Allegory of the Cave, I believed even more firmly that knowing more is better, because the characters in these stories lived very primitive lives when they were ignorant, and it was not until they found the light that they understood the truth about the world. But then, when we read the plays Oedipus Rex and Antigone, because knowledge of the truth ultimately ruined the lives of Jocasta, Oedipus, and Antigone, I understood that some information is better left unknown because knowledge of the truth can sometimes be quite harmful. To then answer this question myself, I had to take these resources and put them into a more realistic and modern setting. For the Greek plays we encountered, the best connection that I could think of was wiretapping by the NSA. For years, American citizens were unaware that the government was invading their privacy and listening to phone calls so that they could track and prevent criminal action. But once this secret program by the NSA was revealed to the general public, there was incredible outrage as many citizens believed that the government did not have the right to infringe on their privacy.
May 7th, the lawsuit ACLU versus James Clapper, the Director of National Intelligence, was decided. A three-judge panel for the Second Circuit held that the telephone metadata program exceeds the scope of what Congress has authorized and therefore violates Section 215 of the Patriot Act.
But then, as you just saw, this ultimately led to a federal court case which deemed these actions unconstitutional under the Patriot Act. But what people are failing to understand is that these programs were implemented with the sole goal to keep Americans safe. This connected to the Greek plays because in this case, in my opinion, knowing was not better, as so many different statistics reveal how this wiretapping is keeping criminal action from taking place. And after this information was released to the public safety could have been jeopardized, just as new knowledge jeopardized the lives of Oedipus, Jocasta, and Antigone. The connection I made from The Truman Show and The Allegory of the Cave was untruthfulness by news providers.
The story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq. Two of our four helicopters were hit by ground fire, including the one I was in.
No kidding.
RPG and AK-47. Our traveling NBC News team was rescued, surrounded, and kept alive by an armored mechanized platoon from the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry.
No, they weren't. The best way to kill a good war story, of course, is a witness. And that's exactly what one U.S. soldier did. Lance Reynolds took to Facebook to call out the veteran host. "I don't remember you being on my aircraft." He added, "I do remember you heading to Kuwait to report your, quote, war story to the nightly news." Well, the journalist not only took to Facebook to apologize for what he made seem like a slight memory lapse, not sure how you can mix up being shot in a helicopter by an RPG, but Williams took to the broadcast with a sorry.
"I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident."
Many people understand the world only from what they're told on the news. But news providers, especially the more biased sources like Fox News or Brian Williams, as I just showed you, alter the facts they present to make a point. This has clear connections to The Truman Show and The Allegory of the Cave, because like the characters in these resources, a huge number of people around the world do not understand the truth about the world around them, and as a result are living a less satisfactory and fulfilling life. After doing all of this, I had to consider if the world would ultimately be better off if we were told the truth or if some information was kept from the public for our protection. I ultimately decided that knowing more is not better, because oftentimes the truth must be concealed from the public in order to maintain general safety and so that the government can act most efficiently. Although many of the government's actions may be very controversial, from wiretapping to spying and international surveillance, they are definitely necessary to keep the world safe and peaceful. In the end, the resources that we encountered in this unit all gave very interesting and unique perspectives on the question, is knowing more better? But ultimately, because I believe that some secrecy is necessary for world safety, I now think that ignorance can definitely be positive.